People keep asking me why Europe treats 35°C like a life-threatening emergency, while in so many other parts of the world that's just another summer afternoon. I used to wonder the exact same thing. At first, I honestly thought people were exaggerating. I mean, where I grew up, temperatures around 35 to 40 degrees were completely normal. Sure, everyone complained about the heat, but schools stayed open. People still went to work, kids played outside in the evenings, and life didn't suddenly come to a stop. So when I kept seeing headlines about European countries issuing emergency warnings over similar temperatures, I genuinely couldn't understand it. The more I looked into it, though, the more I realized the temperature itself isn't really the biggest problem. It's everything surrounding it. The first thing that surprised me was how homes in many European countries are actually designed to keep heat inside, not outside. For decades, their biggest challenge wasn't surviving hot summers. It was surviving freezing winters. Thick walls, insulated buildings, smaller windows, and construction methods that trap warmth make perfect sense when winter temperatures drop below freezing. But once those same buildings sit under several days of 35 to 40 degree weather, they become giant ovens. Heat gets trapped inside, and even after the sun goes down, apartments often stay unbearably hot all night long. Then I realized something else. Air conditioning isn't nearly as common there as many people assume. In a lot of places, homes, schools, offices, hospitals, and even public transportation either have no AC at all or only very limited cooling. Historically, they simply didn't need it because summers were much milder. Now, climate patterns are changing much faster than the infrastructure can adapt. Another thing I completely overlooked was who these heat waves actually affect. Most healthy young adults aren't the ones dying. The biggest victims are elderly people, people with heart disease, lung conditions, or those living alone. If someone is already medically vulnerable, several days of non-stop heat without proper cooling can quickly become life-threatening. Dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke don't always happen dramatically. Sometimes they build slowly until it's too late. One detail that really changed my perspective was nighttime temperatures. In many hotter countries, evenings cool down enough for people and buildings to recover before the next day begins. But during many European heat waves, temperatures barely drop overnight. Imagine spending the entire day in a hot apartment, then trying to sleep while it's still above 25 degrees inside. After several nights like that, people's bodies never get a chance to recover, and the health risks keep increasing. I also realized that countries which deal with extreme heat every year have quietly adapted over decades. Their daily routines, building designs, ventilation, clothing, work schedules, and even cultural habits evolved around living in hot climates. Europe simply wasn't built with that expectation. Now that heat waves are becoming longer and more frequent, many cities are trying to catch up. But adapting millions of homes and public buildings isn't something that happens overnight. So now whenever someone asks me why 35 degrees Celsius seems harmless in one country but dangerous in another, I don't think it's because one group of people is weaker than another. I think it's because temperatures alone never tell the full story. Infrastructure, housing, healthcare, climate history, and vulnerable populations all matter just as much as the number shown on the thermometer. What surprised me the most is that I started this thinking Europeans were overreacting. By the time I finished researching it, I realized I was the one missing half the picture. If you made it this far, drop a like, comment heat if you learned something new, or Europe if you were surprised by the real reason too.